Calabasas Library presents BubbleMania.
Nice. Thank you so much. How's everyone doing today? Good. I want to hear a better good than that. How's everyone doing today? Nice. Now, who's ready to start the show with a raise of hands? Who's ready to start the show? Nice. Now, keep those hands raised nice and high. In fact, give me 2 hands if you love bubbles. Who likes bubbles in our audience? Nice. Everyone likes bubbles in our audience. That's exactly what I thought. Now, it is known that kids love bubbles, right? But I think everybody loves bubbles. Moms and dads, teachers, kids, everyone. You can have a seat wherever you want, dude. Oh, dude, you're going to love bubbles after this. It's super cool. Now, I love bubbles so much, I became a bubbleologist. Can everyone say bubbleologist? Good job. Now, just by hearing that silly word, what do you think it means that I'm a bubbleologist? We got the word bubble in there for sure, right?
You're a scientist of bubbles.
Oh, give me a high five, girl. Nice. I'm a scientist that studies bubbles. And that's exactly what I've done. Super good job. And that's exactly what I've done.
Because meteorologist, bubblist.
Oh, meteorologist. What does a meteorologist do, dude?
It's someone who studies the weather.
Right. Very nice, right? So anytime you have the word ologist at the end of another word, just look at that first word, and that's what that scientist studies, right? Super cool. Now, that's what I've done. I have studied the bubbles so that I could show you guys all sorts of cool stuff that you probably didn't know about bubbles before. Now, these are the normal bubbles we see every single day, right? Who's seen a bubble before? Everybody, right?
I've seen a big bubble.
Oh my goodness, we've seen bigger bubbles than this, right? And that's exactly what I was going to say. In order to study the bubbles, oh, super cool. So in order to study something, you got to get a closer look, right? You got to get really up close and personal in order to see what's going on. Who plays with bubbles every day? Nice. You guys are super smart. You know, some kids tell me no. Some kids tell me no. And that's totally wrong because we use what every single day? Soap and water, right? Like when you're washing your hands. Who washed their hands today? Or took a shower today with soap? Nice. Good job. And that's bubbles. Anytime you're using soap, water, and just a little bit of air is all you need to make a bubble. Exactly. Now, the first thing we're going to do with our bubbles is we're going to get them to be super big, right? Because in science, you need to see things up close, just like when other scientists use a microscope. Who knows what a microscope is? Who can tell me how it works? What do you do with a microscope?
You put your eye to it and look stuff bigger.
Oh, nice. Super good job. You look inside and you get small stuff to look bigger. And that's exactly what our bubble wand is going to do. Our bubble wand blows up our bubbles so that we get this. Now, everyone saw this, right? Everybody sees the bubble in there. But it's not quite a bubble yet. This is what I call bubble film. Can everyone say bubble film? Nice, because it's flat like a piece of film, right? All you need, I know, right? All you need is a bubble film to make a bubble. So when we make our bubble film, we can make super big bubbles, right? Ooh. Whoa, dude. We're breaking rule number 1. Stay behind the line. Very good job. I know it's super exciting, but our bubbles, oh no. But if we pop the bubbles, can we see the bubbles? No, right? So I want to show you guys all sorts of cool stuff. So we can't pop them, okay? But we get to see how cool they are. Now, these are what those littler bubbles looked like up close, right? Now that we can really see what's going on, what's the first thing you guys notice about the bubbles? What's the first thing you notice? They're huge.
Also, I see a bigger bubble than that. I seen when I was in preschool.
Oh.
BubbleMan, he made like this huge bubble thing like that.
Oh my goodness.
The size of a person.
Oh, well, don't you worry. We're getting there. We just started the show, man. But you said some perfectly good stuff, like jiggly, huge, right? What else do you see in the bubble? What else do you see?
I see like
Oh.
wiggly is
Nice. And you said it looks like glass, right? Now it looks like glass because we get a reflection. Can everyone say nice? And rainbow colors. Oh, good job. You guys are super smart. Now the first thing I notice about bubbles, besides all of those cool things, is what shape they are. What shape are bubbles? They're circles. Now, or oval. Oh, who said sphere? Nice. Give me a high five. Now, these are special types of circles. When you draw a circle on a flat piece of paper, that's a two-dimensional circle. Can everybody put 2 fingers up? Two-dimensional means flat, right? But are bubbles flat? No way. They're three-dimensional. Yes. 3-dimensional. Can everybody put 3 fingers up? We have 3 dimensions, which means you can see it all the way around, like a ball or the world. So all bubbles. Oh, right. Well, when we leave a bubble alone, it's a circle, but why isn't it any other shape in the whole world? What's the difference between a circle and every other shape in the whole wide world? Oh, it does have air in it, but if we had a huge triangle, wouldn't it have air in it too? What else? What's the difference? Try to try. Oh, the thing I'm using is a circle, maybe. But the difference between a circle and every other shape is it has no corners and edges, just like you said. Now, one thing I want to show you guys is that you don't need any of my special tools to do this at home. All you need is 2 straws and a string, and this is going to answer your question as well. This is what shape? It's a square, right? So when we use the square, which all you need to do at home is loop the string into the 2 straws and tie a knot. Then you use the 2 straws as handles to get a bubble film, right? The bubble film we talked about. It works the same way, but see, we still get our circles. No matter what shape we're using, our bubble will always be a circle. Now, that also brings us to our next cool thing about bubbles, which is their flexibility. Can everyone say flexible? Flexible. Nice. Now, bubbles are all the same. It doesn't matter what shape you're using. It only matters how much force you're using. So we can take 2 different wands and make about the same size bubble, as well as stretch them even further than that, right? We can stretch our bubbles out really, really far. Because bubbles are all super flexible, they pretty much do whatever we want them to, including going right over our heads, right? So, bubbles, even though they're really fragile, and even though there's a huge bubble like this, it only takes 1 finger to pop it, right? So bubbles are fragile, but they stretch to be bubbles as long as they possibly can. Bubbles can also not only stretch, but they also stick together. Who's ever noticed that 2 bubbles stick together, right? Now, that was 4. Oh my goodness. Now, it doesn't matter if you have 2 or 4 like we had earlier, or 5 or 10 or 100 bubbles together. They'll always stick, right? Just like this. So we get a big clump of bubbles like this that I call the best friend bubble because they stick together till the very end. They're also stronger together, right? So when we pop that big, huge bubble all by itself, it popped, right? But the cool thing about bubbles when they have their friends around is when you try and pop them, they actually become smaller. So we get some of the smallest little bubbles in the whole world because they want to stick together, right? So we force them apart, but because their friends are around, they stick to each other one more time and become slightly smaller than they once were, which is a super cool thing that only bubbles can do. Well, you know, there's a couple cool things you can do with bubbles. Now, who likes to pop bubbles in here? Everybody, right? That's why we like to see clumps of bubbles together. But we can also do something else with the bubbles before they pop. That also has to do with surface tension. Can everyone say surface tension? Nice. Now what I mean by surface is like the floor. Can everyone put their hands to the floor for me? It's a surface, right? In fact, it's a very hard surface. We can't put our hands through the floor, but our bubble film is also a surface. It's a surface we can create tension in. We can move it around. We can also put our hands right through it. I can say hi to you guys and pull it all back out before popping the bubble. Now, when you usually touch a bubble, what happens? It pops. So how am I putting my hand through? Because I got soap and water on my hands. Now, that's exactly the reason. Remember when I said that bubbles are like best friends? Well, they like you guys too. They just need they just need a little bit of an introduction. They like you too, right? So the cool thing about bubbles is if you have soap and water on your hands, you can touch the bubbles too. Exactly. So we can do a lot of cool stuff with bubbles before. Whoop. Wait. There we go. Oh. Don't worry. We can do a couple of cool things. If I can get the bubbles separate. Oh. We can make the bubble do a hula, right? Ooh. We can play bubble basketball. We can do a lot of cool stuff while touching the bubble all before it pops. So bubbles are super sticky. They stick to just about everything, including our own skin. But do you guys think that we can get a bubble to bounce? See, bubbles, when they touch something, they usually pop or stick, right? Who's ever seen bubbles like stick to the floor and still be bubbles, right? They're like hanging out. Well, that's the cool thing about bubbles is they also can bounce, but you need a specific amount of friction. Can everyone say friction? Nice. Friction is the difference between two things that don't attract to each other. So our bubbles don't have a lot of friction because they totally stick to each other. But the difference between the smooth, wet bubble and this dry cloth creates a lot of friction. So we can bounce the bubbles. Instead of them sticking or popping, they actually bounce. The cool thing about this trick is you can do this with your own cotton t-shirt. So if you want to do it with any piece of clothing, you can, right? Now, all of our bubbles have been what shape so far? Circles, right? Do you think that we can get a different shape bubble? No and yes. See, this is all what science is about, right? We discover things together, and we'll know the answer at the end of this experiment. We're going to use our experiment with this. What's this shape? A triangle. Now, who knows? Ooh. Now, who knows why a triangle is called a triangle before we get to pyramid? Why is it called a triangle? It is two-dimensional. That's the two-dimensional name. Super good job. And the way I remember is tri means three, and the next word is angle, right? So we count 3 angles. 1, 2, 3, right? We have 3 for the triangle. But like we said, what is this called when it's three-dimensional? Pyramid. Nice. It is totally a pyramid. Did you know that in geometry there's a super complicated, extra special word that this is called as well? That's not just pyramid. Super close? Super close. Not quite. It's also, it is called a triangle, but it's also called a tetrahedron. Can everyone say tetrahedron? Now, whoa, that's a huge big word. Don't you worry, I'm not going to let you go away not knowing what that means. Now, it gets a special name. For one, it does something extra special for us. We can trap our bubble inside, right? And get a triangle-shaped bubble. Can everyone see the triangle-shaped bubble in there? Now, we're forcing the bubble into the same shape that it's stuck inside, right? But when it pops, it will always be our circle, right? So again, bubbles on their own are always circles, but because of their flexibility and the fact that they stretch, we can stretch them to all of the corners here. Now, tetra means 4. What do we have 4 of here? Corners or sides, right? So the hedron actually means face or side. So we just count the faces or the sides instead of the corners. Now let's just do it together to make sure there's 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, and 4 because of the bottom. So that's what gives us our 4th side. Now we can also use this shape to help us. What's this shape? Ooh. The two-dimensional version of this is called a square, right? But what was our three-dimensional version called? Cube. Nice. Can everyone say cube? Good job. Now, sometimes I forget that a three-dimensional square is called a cube. So if I ever do forget, I just remember that it looks like an ice cube, right? So ice cubes actually have the word cube in it, and my bubble totally reminds me of a jiggly ice cube. Does everyone see the cube-shaped bubble in there? Nice. So again, if you ever forget that a three-dimensional square is called a cube, just remember it looks just like an ice cube. But what shape does it become once we let it go? Our circles, right? Let's talk about something called gravity. Can everyone say gravity? What does gravity do for us? What does gravity do for us? Hold on. What does gravity do for us? It keeps us on the ground, right? So, but bubbles float, don't they? Because they're super, super light. But do strings usually float? No, right? Now, what if we were on the moon? We'd be floating too. Now, on Earth, like I said, strings don't usually float, but bubbles do. This bubble is going to do something super cool for us and take the string up with it. Now, we can pull the string down as many times as we want, but gravity pulls it up. Now, the cool thing about this is it's our bubble. It's not popping, right? Now, the cool thing, like I said, about bubbles is they stick and stretch and do all sorts of cool stuff to stay bubbles, right? Our bubble is actually still in here. But because of the flexibility of our bubbles, we can stretch them out, right? So we still have our bubble in there holding our string. But when we pop the bubble, is the string going to continue to defy gravity? No, right? What's eventually going to happen? It's going to down, right? It's going to fall down because only with the help of this extra cool bubble, which is one of the only things that floats here on Earth, even though we have gravity, it can also help the string do the exact same thing. This also brings us to our next lesson about reflection. Can everyone say reflection? Woo. Now, we have not only one, but two different kinds of reflection in here, right? We see colors. Who sees the colors in the bubble? Right? Nice. And we also have image reflection. Does everyone see the lights above us in the bubble, right? We can see a lot of stuff. Now, the cool thing about this is, yes, it is a certain kind of reflection. Now, who's ever seen themselves in the mirror? Right? Every morning we look at ourselves in the mirror, make sure we don't got boogies or nasty stuff in our teeth or any stuff like that, right? But have you ever seen your reflection in water? Raise your hand if you've seen your reflection in water. Nice. Now, that works the same way in a bubble because our bubble also has water. But because our bubble moves, we get two different kinds of images. We get a concave, which is when it goes in, and a convex mirror. Can everyone say concave? Nice. Can everyone say convex? That's right. Now, the reason I'm pushing it back and forth is to show you the difference between the two mirrors. So the bubble is cut in half, and that allows us to see the two different images. Now, if you've never seen your reflection in a spoon, go home and look inside. The cool thing about your reflection is it's upside down. So when you look inside a spoon, notice that that is a concave mirror that goes in, and I remember that it looks like a cave. And a convex mirror is when it comes out. What happens when you look in a mirror that comes out? What do you look like? What do you look like if the mirror looks like this?
Your head turns around like the funny mirror at the circus.
That's
Like that or that or that.
That's right. You look like you're looking in a funhouse mirror at the circus, right? Because you look super fat and all wiggly and weird and all that cool stuff. So, again, if you've never seen your reflection upside down, remember that's a concave mirror that goes in like a cave, and you can see it upside down. Now, we also see light reflection, right? Our rainbow colors. We saw rainbow colors right from the beginning, right? Now, why do we see rainbow colors in bubbles? Why do we see rainbow colors in bubbles? Why do we see rainbow colors in bubbles? Because it's a reflection, just like a real rainbow in the sky. Guys, could we scoot behind the line? Thank you. Now, for those of you that have never seen a rainbow in the sky before, what happens right before a rainbow? Something super special happens right before a rainbow. It rains, and then we need one more ingredient to make a rainbow. Sunlight, exactly. So what happens is the little bit of moisture that's left in the air is hit by the sun. Now the cool thing about our bubble is we don't need the rain to make a rainbow whenever we want, right? We can make a rainbow just like that because we're putting our own water into the sky and we have our own light reflection, right? So we can make a super big bubble and again make a rainbow without the rain whenever we want. So with such a big bubble, I was thinking we could do something super cool with it, right? Because my biggest dream as a bubbleologist is to be inside of a bubble. Who else has ever wanted to be inside of a bubble? Nice. Well, I wanted to be in a bubble so bad that I tried to do it all by myself. I could only get about halfway. I think I need some friends about half my size to help me out. You guys think you can help me out today? Now, I'm going to pick 5 special guests, okay, to be guest bubbleologists. So you can be one. Just go ahead and stand right over here. Those that were asking questions, nice. Come over here. Being really good. You can stand right behind here. Nice. You can be in the bubble. And one more. And we'll get a big dude. There you go. All righty. So everyone have a seat, crisscross applesauce beside you guys. And you're going to be our first volunteer. Do you want to be first? What's your name?
Lily.
Lily. All righty, people. Everyone give Lily a big round of applause for being our first bubble volunteer. Nice. All righty. So all you have to do is step inside the red box, and you can use my shoulder as support. There you go. All righty. Lily is stepping inside the bubble, and all we got to do is a little bubble surfing. There you go.
And then you just put that up, and then you just like
That's right.
get in the bubble.
Now everyone stand 2 steps back because we don't want to be in the splash zone. And we are going to try and make a lily bubble. Nice, very good. We can totally fit Lily inside the bubble. Now Lily, I want you to do something super fun for us, okay? And you guys can do this exact same thing. We're going to show our audience how to give the bubble a nose, okay? So all you have to do is blow on the bubble when you see it. Not as hard as you can, but not as soft as you can. Like that, okay? All righty. Now let's try and see if we can give the bubble a nose. Let's do it. Blow, blow, blow. Nice. Almost. You can blow a little harder than that. Oh, it's coming out. It's coming out. Just stay straight and a little harder, okay? Oh, so close. And we're going to get you in the bubble one more time. Nice. Good job, Lily. Everyone give a big round of applause for Lily. All right. You ready, dude? What's your name? All right. Christopher is our next bubble volunteer. Whoop, 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 whoop. All righty. And you can also try and blow on the bubble if you'd like. Oh, nice. You can blow a little harder. Blow, blow, blow. Oh, nice. And blow, blow, blow. Woo! Very nice, Christopher. You got it. Good job. Very nice. One more round of applause for Christopher. What's your name? Chloe Bubble. Let's do it, Chloe. All righty, just put your hands to your side. All right. There we go. Very nice. You can also blow on the bubble if you want. Want to try and blow? Nice. Very good. Blow, blow, blow. Woo. Very nice. And one more time, blow for us. Whoa! That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Chloe. One more round of applause for Chloe. Whoever wants it, doesn't matter. All right. We got to get a super long bubble for you, dude. What's your name? Ian. All right, we got to stretch Ian's bubble out using a little more flexibility, right? Oh, nice. Oh, very cool. Blow, blow, blow. Whoa, and one more time. Oh, he made a bubble out of the bubble. Good job. Oh, all right. Crisscross applesauce. Nice. And last but not least, what's your name, sweetheart? What is it? Ariel. We're going to do Ariel in the bubble. Nice. Ooh. Whoa. Yeah, don't pop his bubbles. That's hard. One more time. Nice. Good job. All right, can everyone give a big round of applause for all of our bubble volunteers? Very nice. Now I have one special surprise for you guys. I told you at the beginning of the show that everyone likes bubbles, and even our librarian loved our bubble show, so he also wanted to get inside of the bubble. Everyone give a big round of applause for your librarian. Nice. We're going to do the ultimate bubble, so you can just step right inside.
Okay, let's see if I can fit in here.
There we go. All right, perfect. We're going to try and see if we can make a super big bubble. Nice. Ooh. Very cool. Good job. Nice. And one more time. There, one more real time. You can blow a little harder than that. Nice! He got it! He got it! Nice. Very good. One more big round of applause for your library. Nice. Now, did we all have fun today? And did we all learn something today? Very cool, because that's all what it's about. When you're learning, remember to always have fun, okay? Nice job. Good job, everyone.